Pet Simulator is the biggest Roblox simulator game series ever made, having a whole 4 games made in a span of 7 years, with 3 of them having over 1 billion visits. And with those games came a lot of drama, with people accusing big games for copying other games, adding loot boxes in their games and more. Now I know that many videos have been made on this topic already, like way too many I would say, but I won't only talk about the recent stuff. And I'm also someone who have played different pet simulators quite a bit, so I have a pretty good idea on what those games are. And I think it is worth starting with the most recent drama about Pet Simulator copying Grow a Garden. If you didn't know somehow, a few days ago, Big Games announced the Grow an Egg event for Pet Simulator 99, which obviously caused a decent amount of drama since this looks just like Grow a Garden, but in Pet Simulator. Now, this won't be a new game, as some people thought, or a permanent world. This will be an event. You can see it says "event" right here. And this is also far from the first time when Big Games use a new popular game as an event for Pet Simulator 99. Legally, it is completely fine to do that since they aren't stealing any actual work. All the models and code will be made by Big Games. Morally thought, definitely not the best thing to do, and hence why people are mad at them. Grow a Garden basically became a trend with many similar games appearing on Roblox, and Big Games decided to take a bite of the money pie. And as I already said, this is far from the first time when they do this. Go back just 2 updates, and we'll have this Fishing World update, which does have some similarities with fish. You got the island, boats, and different weights for the fish, or in this case, pets that you get. Yes, fishing did exist since the release of the game, but it looked completely different. Now, if you were to play fish and actually try to fish here, you would notice that there is this little mini-game when trying to catch the fish. Going back to Pet Simulator, we got a very similar mini-game here, just that the bars are on the side instead. Now, even thought the update itself is definitely taking a lot from fish, this little mini-game actually existed before fish even came out. Back when Pet Simulator 99 released, we already had fishing and this minigame was there, but later on it was replaced with just simple tapping like right now to make it simpler for players. There have been more events which took a popular trend and turned them into those events. One of the biggest ones was the RNG event. During that event, the concurrent player count rised up to over 200,000. And this event existed only because of the RNG game trend on Roblox, with the biggest one at the time being Souls RNG. In this case, they even went further and turned the entire RNG event with Pets concept into a new game called Pets Go. That game had a lot of drama as well, but I might get to it a bit later. Another event that Big Games are known for is Yeet a Pet. This one was in Pet Simulator X, though. There used to be a game called Yeet a Friend, and Pet Simulator X pretty much copied the idea. And even the original developers saw it and quoted it on Twitter, or X. They may not have liked that, but they never did anything against it either. Now, obviously this is not the only reason people would hate on Big Games, and Big Games being inside different dramas. Here's a question. What are Big Games mostly known for? That's right, pay to win. Pay to win by itself kind of means that a game has something you can pay for. That's how the word is very often used. But in this case, you can definitely win by paying, since you got many different Robux features here. There are game passes too, but they do not play as big of a role as developer products. And developer products are exclusive eggs and Forever Pack mainly. Do you know what exclusive eggs are? They are loot boxes. You buy them with Robux, with hopes of hatching that one pet you really want to get. The main reason many people hate those is because they can act as a way of gambling. Just that in this case, you can see the odds of getting different pets, and you don't have any actual money prize. But is it any better? Well, I would say it's not as bad as actual gambling, but it can definitely still grow some sort of addiction. You could continue to spend your money in hopes of winning big at one point, and that is one of the bigger dramas with Pet Simulator. Addiction in some way is very often used for different games, and even social medias such as YouTube, to keep you on the platform for as long as possible. Pet Simulator is no different. The gameplay is made to try and keep the players for longer in the game. But exclusive eggs is a different type of addiction where you could spend more money than you would expect because of trying to get the cool pet. Well, you get the idea, but this is also not the only controversy with big games. There is something called silent nerfs. That is something that people are aware about when it comes to big games. Basically, you could be playing the game and then suddenly you would notice that perhaps an item isn't as good as it used to be before. In Pets Go, they have done that with God Potions, not once but multiple times. And what makes this worse is that God Potions are mainly obtained with Robux from Forever Pack, so silently nerfing them is definitely not cool. When they were new, you were almost guaranteed to get a huge pet in 3 rolls. Meanwhile, now the average 10 rolls with a God Potion looks like this. A pretty big difference if you were to ask me. Some other drama involving big games was about the NFT pets back in 2021. Even though it was decently long ago, so many people still remember it. On November 9th, 2021, they officially announced the huge Pegasus NFTs, and pretty obviously people were upset about it. You got many different big YouTubers questioning this decision, and on the Discord server, Preston tried to present it as something cool. The problem here is very obvious. They promoted NFTs to kids, since pet simulators are mainly played by kids. But I feel like you already know most of this, so I won't continue to rant about that. The other so-called incident had to do with DMCA strikes on different Roblox games. Many think they took down games because of using cube pets, but in reality, most of those games did actually copy the pets from Pet Simulator X, resulting in copyright issues. Now I say most of them, not all, since I'm not 100% sure which games and why they were taken down. Also, this post was made by one of the big games managers, which does look pretty ironic nowadays with big games using different games like Grow a Garden for their events. But you can't copyright an idea, unlike models and designs. Big games have been hated sometimes with valid points, but in some cases people will accuse them for basically anything. Some time ago, when both Pets Go and Fish were still new games, people actually accused big games for stealing the fishing mechanic from Fish by adding simple fishing in Pets Go that really just had nothing similar with the one from Fish. I've also seen people who accused big games for stealing the egg hunt idea for their Easter event from Bubblegum Simulator Infinity. The reason being that Bubblegum Simulator did it before Pet Simulator, and both had different rarities for eggs. Things like that happen sometimes, and big games will be accused for basically anything only because the other game did it, even if it's sometimes not similar. And again, there are actually very reasonable things to hate big games for, such as loot boxes in form of eggs, but I just think sometimes people will hate them for literally just anything. What also pretty much confirms the loot box thing is the fact that there are certain countries that even banned players from being able to buy those eggs before they legally became adults, the same age that is required to gamble in, for example, UK. Whatever you like big games or not, I feel like we can admit they can make things look cool, such as UI and maps, and honestly, the games do actually feel great on the release days, in my opinion. But the longer, in this case, Pet Simulator 99 has been out for, the worse it has gotten from what it feels like. And with more drama around the studio, things definitely do not look so bright sometimes. Anyway, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I would really appreciate that. You can watch one of these videos while waiting for a new one. They are good too. Join my Discord server. You can chat with me and other members. The link is in description, and I will see you soon.